Hey everybody, Jim Malone here. It's Dallas Trading Floor. It's Friday, the anniversary of 9/11. Very very tragic day, 19 years ago in New York City. But so just wanted to put that out there. I actually knew somebody that was killed in that. So just a moment of reflection there. Um, Looks like the market is starting to come under a little bit of pressure, and we may be seeing a reversal here. We're not quite there yet, but the market is. It's not in a confirmed downtrend yet, but it is definitely under pressure. The uptrend that we've been seeing is under pressure, and I want to put it out there that we have a potential coming up here that we may be in a situation where we may start to retest, believe it or not, some of the lows that were made back on March 23rd. I don't know. I'm a little premature to say that right now, but that may actually happen. So, we can't tell for sure, but the V-shaped recovery may be pulling back a little bit. So, everybody be kind of careful. Really be very very cautious with any new buys. Try to protect your profits. Not a bad time to take profits right now, as I do believe I'm sensing a change in the market direction. And again, I am very much of a directional trader, so I'm always looking at the market direction, and I do anticipate, like the Yoda also always used to say it. I'm not a Jedi warrior, but there has been a change in the Force, folks, and we may be going to the downside. So, we want to be careful. We want to get ready. We want to protect our positions and protect any of the profits that we might have in the market. So, just really wanted to. Basically, this is pretty much the headline. I mean, we are the coronavirus stimulus bill hits the roadblock, and Peloton is doing good. Some of the other things are doing good, but there's been a lot of pressure under Tesla. I think that, and also on Apple. I believe that the trade on these issues has changed character, and we may be through kind of the movement up for the splits. Now, that's not going to say that Tesla is not going to move up on Battery Day. There's a lot of good things happening there, but let's just be a little bit careful. I've sized down my positions. I have been taken out. I've been stopped out of several of my positions in the small portfolio. So I just wanted to be very, very careful about this. If you do have open positions, you might want to consider possibly, if you're up on these positions, you might want to consider taking them off. Also, if you have any new positions that you want to stay in, make sure that you have your stop losses. Here's my rule of thumb. I typically like to have a stop loss in there, good to cancel, basically at 8% potential loss, which would be if you have a stock, you multiply it times 0.29. That will give you the number where you need to set your stop loss. Set it good till cancel, and make sure that that is in. Now, I only recommend having these in normal trading hours, not the extended trading hours. So, because if we do get a violent turn by Monday, and typically these things happen, a lot of times happen on a Friday when there's options that are expiring, and they are. Then we may open up lower on Monday. It's not necessarily guaranteed or anything, but just be ready for that to potentially to happen. So I just want to be very clear on that. Basically, we've had a sell-off, and this is on Thursday. The market trend is upward pressure. We've had what they call distribution days. This is where the big there's been 5 on the the S&P 500, 3 on the NASDAQ. So we're getting ready possibly for a turn here. There have been some leaders, Spotify, DraftKings, Restoration Hardware, but be very careful on these, because I do think that we may be in a situation where the character of the market may be changing. So be rather cautious as we come into as we end out the week, and possibly the week tomorrow. So I want to be just clear on that. We do have this is the spider currently. As you can see, it's touched the 40-day moving average. We'll just see it. It's sort of balanced on that knife edge, and it may potentially move. It may potentially move lower than that. So we have to be really, really careful. What I want to kind of bring up here for everybody is that with the pointer here. Let's see if I can get that up here. Yeah, there's the pointer. I want to show you it's come back down to the 40-day moving average here, but it is a blue bar, so it's bounced off of that. We have, we have less than normal volume, so it's kind of weak. Remember, back in March of the year, we made a low on the spider. It was basically on March 23rd, right here, and it was basically the low was 211, and we're currently trading right now at 334. Now, will it retrace all the way back to there? I don't know, but it possibly could, because typically when you have a pullback like this, that we had from about February, the start of February to March, when you have a pullback like this, many times that can begin the process of retesting the low, and the low is 211. So be very careful in your positions right now. It's not a time to be exposed. I'm currently almost all in cash right now. And I do have some positions in the small portfolio, but I am almost all in cash. I also want to show you the QQQ, because this is where most of the investment has been in this uptrend that we've had since March 23rd, and that's been into the QQQ. Which is primarily the technology issues. It's Microsoft, it's Google, and it has fallen below. Now the S&P 500, the one that we saw before, it was still above the 50-day moving average. The QQQ has fallen below the moving average, so this is a very significant event. If this does test this and it moves below this 40-day, it more than likely will move lower, and it potentially, and of course. The question is, will it test below the 200-day? And I think there's a good chance that may happen. So we want to be very, very careful getting ready to possibly protect our gains, and to see if we can be careful with the gains that we have, because there's been a lot of gains. It's time to basically possibly pull some of your profits off the table, I believe, but it depends on how it opens on Monday. But I do think I'm sensing very much of a change in direction. Now, I do have a suggestion for you, and this is, by the way, a way to hedge against this. And this is a product called the SQQQ. And what this is this is a ETF that can be used to hedge some of your positions. It's up currently today. I went in this with a small portfolio today. Now, as you can see, normally you wouldn't buy anything like this because it has a relative strength of 1. And the reason it does have a relative strength of 1 is because this runs counter to the QQQ. So the QQQ has been going up, this has been going down. I think that this may be changing direction. There's been a lot of buying, and going into the weekend we may see this move higher. But this is a way that you possibly can hedge against a falling market. And I do think that we are going to probably see a falling market next week. September's are notorious for months that have falling stock markets. So if we do retest that low on the S&P of 211 that was made on the 23rd of March, then we possibly could have this situation. This is a potential hedge, and I put the small portfolios I'll show you just in a second here has been sold out of both Tesla and Apple and Microsoft, and currently it's only holding cash and 2 full positions of the SQQQ. So that is something that you can. You might be able to affect a little bit of a hedging strategy that way. I just kind of want to show you, for full disclosure, my current holdings. Right now, I'm only holding Apple, Tesla, and the SQQQ. I have Tesla in another account, and I've reduced my position significantly to one full position only. I had, at one point, I had 5 full positions, so I am out of that, and as you can see, it is falling, but I want to keep into it because if there's a reversal, because Battery Day is coming up, I think it will be significant, but I think the overall trend of the market possibly is down. So I wanted to take off risk, and basically most of my positions in Tesla I've sold. Also with Apple, I still like Apple. I think it's a bellwether, but again, I only have basically one full position in Apple as well. There is as well as in the small portfolio. So that's basically for full disclosure that I wanted to show you that is what I have in currently in out there. So let's go quickly to the small portfolio, and let me pull this up here. My main screen, let's see, okay, great. And also, well, I'll show you the small portfolio in just a second as we get to questions. Thank you very much for everybody watching today. Let's see, for people that are looking on TikTok, thank you. Is it time to buy Tesla? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a good time to buy Tesla right now. Let's see what the let's see what next week brings. I think we're going to see some softness in Tesla. Again, I'm reducing my positions in Tesla right now, and that's been what I've been doing, is reducing my positions in Tesla, because I do believe that we are going to see a bit of weakness bit of weakness in the stock. So I don't think it's really a very good time to be putting on more Tesla right now. So I think it's the potentially not necessarily the best time to be in. I mean, I'm still in Tesla, but I want to be clear that I am not putting on any more positions in Tesla at this moment. So okay, so great. So let's take a look at the questions here. Time to get in get in on the QQQ. No, but I do think the SQQQ, not the QQQ, but the SQQQ, that might be something that you want to consider. So let me just show you this. Let me show you this one. This is a hedging tool. I don't think currently that that it is an opportune time for the QQQ. So I'm going to show you the QQQ chart first, and then I'm going to show you the SQQQ, which is the inverse of this. So this is the QQQ, and I will show you that now. As you can see, it is pulled back, and I want to be very clear about this. It's pulled back to the 50-day moving average. Okay, I do believe we may have topped on the QQQ. Now, there is a companion hedging product that you can possibly use, and I use this. It's called the SQQQ, and as you can see, it's all the way down, but then it's trending back up. And why is that? Because the direction of the market is changing right now. So this is moving. Moves in opposition to the QQQ. So it's not a good time to be in the Qs right now. It just really isn't. Shopify. Okay, I think Shopify, you're going to see a lot of weakness today. I think we are turning the corner, but let's look at it. SHOP. Let's look at okay, it is definitely weak, and we are definitely seeing, and this is something that if you have profits in this, I would consider possibly possibly taking some of your profits here, because let's look at the 10-minute chart. I don't think it's a good one. Yeah, it's not. It's going from the upper left-hand corner to the lower right-hand corner. There's a lot of selling. I think if you've got profits in there, I think you might want to consider taking them. It's already off basically, over $100 today. So it's just really not a good time. And don't try to buy this thing. It's broken through. It's broken through the both the 21-day moving average, the 50-day moving and the 50-day moving average. And as you can see, it's still moving down. Now, it almost caught some support there, but it doesn't look like. So Shopify, I don't think you really want to buy it. If you have it, and you have profits in it, you might want to consider taking some of those profits right now, because I don't think it's possibly going lower. So I've got a question to the right of this. Some of the is it okay? I've got a question. In light of in light of the bat, is it due to the SQQQ position? Can the stocks like Apple and Tesla pull up in a market that's pull up in dramatically, or no? I don't. No, I don't think so. This is the reason why I've moved part of my portfolio in the small portfolio to the to the SQQQ, because that has the ability of of basically going against the market. I do think we're going to see a little bit of a downturn here, and that's just how it goes. I mean, we do see that from time to time. So let me show you the small portfolio, show you what I'm doing in that. So let's see. There we go. Bring this up, and there we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so basically what's happening here is that you'll notice that yesterday I basically had Tesla, I had Microsoft, and I had Penn National Gaming. Those were all stopped out, every one of them. As you can see, I lost on every one of them. Okay, so what I did is that this was showing me that the market was turning, and basically I exited those positions. Why? Because I had met the criteria. What I did then is that I went all into cash. As you can see, this is the cash number, and then I did 2 positions in the Qs. Now they're off slightly. I did buy it a little bit high, but I do believe I bought it at $27.2706, and they're down slightly. I do suspect that when the market opens on Monday, that the SQQQ will be higher. Remember, this is a hedging vehicle. I don't expect to make too much money in this, but I expect to pick up a little bit. But as the market changes, I think from a market trend under pressure, uptrend under pressure, to a potentially a correction. I think we may have a correction by Monday, but again, it's very difficult to say exactly when and where those are going to be. So. Want to be very clear about that I may not be, exactly right on the timing. So that's basically the long and the short of it. So here we go. Let's see. All right. Thanks for hey man, thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. Oh, hey, thanks, Tim. I so appreciate you. By the way, if you could, it'd be really helpful for me, and I just want to throw this out there. If you're watching me on YouTube, I really appreciate that. I really, really do, because it really helps me, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen with regard to with regard to TikTok. So it really, really helps me if you are looking at you are looking at me on YouTube. So let me get this up here. So if you're looking at me on YouTube, please, 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 here I am begging you. No, please do this. I mean, let's see. I have the thing here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we want to basically do this. We want to smash that like button there, and please do that, because that will help me so much when it comes to things like when it comes to things like YouTube. So please do that. Please smash that like button. Subscribe to me on YouTube, because we don't know how much more is going to happen with the market. So, anyways, this is only a little bear thing. Here we go. But back to that. Thank you again. And if you're watching on TikTok, it's super easy. I'm showing, actually, you're seeing a green screen behind me, but that is basically just because I can't broadcast the charts that I'm showing. But it is available, so if you just jump on over to if you just jump on over to YouTube at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, you can see all the charts and everything that I'm showing. So I appreciate that very, very much. So let's see if I can get some more comments here. Let's see. Holding 136 on Walmart. Do you think it will go lower? I do, actually. But let's look at the chart. And this is one of the reasons why when there's a change in the market direction like this, you definitely need to be really on your toes, because this is when you want to start taking your profits. It's already violated the 21-day line, and I want to show you this. This is the chart of Walmart, which is a great company, by the way. I'm not dogging on Walmart. That's for sure. It's a great company, but there's definitely some selling going on here. It's violated this green line here. This is the 21-day moving average. I do think that we are probably going lower. Now, the question is, where will it bounce? I think it's probably likely, even if we have a market correction here coming up this next week, I think it's likely to bounce at the 40-day line. But don't take any risks. If you're down more than 7%, sell it and wait for a better time to come back into the market. I could be totally wrong about this, but but it's not. I don't think it's time to load up. What's the buy point on WNT? That's a very good question. The buy point on a double bottom pattern, which is quite a good pattern, is 131.99. Currently, it's 136. So we are above the buy point. We're actually in the buy zone. Now, what's the difference between the buy point and the buy zone? There's a buy point, and then if 5% above that is the buy zone. So we are technically in the buy zone right now for Walmart, but I wouldn't buy it on this pattern because we have a downward sloping pattern. I want to show you that. So even though we have a buy point, we're in the buy zone for Walmart. I wouldn't buy it because we have a downward trending line. It's come through the 21-day, and it looks like it's pulling right back to the 50-day, and you see that's the beginning of the buy point, is that 50-day line. But I do think it's losing steam. Wait on this one. You might get a buy on this one, but I wouldn't buy it right now at this level, even though it's in the buy zone, because it just looks like it's retreating. So that's the thing. Please advise on NIO and Tesla. With Tesla, I'm currently in Tesla. I reduced my exposure to Tesla significantly. There is on Tesla, there is a buy point on Tesla at 359.24. But on NIO, I just think you have to be really, really careful with NIO. I don't think it has the power. I want to show you the chart of Tesla right now. And I'm going to show you the 10-minute chart for Tesla, just so you can see kind of how it's been trading. It's been trading flat between, it's normally very, very volatile, between about 350 and 380. I just don't necessarily see any real conviction here, and I think it's best if you have profits in Tesla, possibly taking them now. I don't think it's a good time to be moving in with more on Tesla. I just don't. This market is changing its character. It's not a time to buy, it's a time to sell. The only thing that I recommend buying right now, at least until we know what the market direction is something like the SQQQ, which basically is an inverse of the Qs. So I want to be very, very clear on that. With NIO, I just don't think it's the time for NIO. The market condition isn't right right now. The market has the market direction has changed markedly since the beginning of the week. So we are starting to see some weakness in the market. So John, it's probably a good time to enter. I want to show you the chart of NIO. We are even if you did buy this thing, we're very much extended from the buy point here of 1545. So we're not only are we extended, but the market is trending downward. Not a good time to be in NIO. Just FYI, I don't think you really want to buy it right now. If you do have profits in it, that's another thing. Good time to sell it, take the profits, and wait until it moves higher. And so that's the thing. Jim, have all positions in Tesla. Wow. Okay, new at 350. Woo, that is very, very good. You know what? I don't know if I would close the. Very, very good. Thank you for that. That is tremendous. I think they're both very good positions. By the way, here's what I would do. I wouldn't close these positions at all, but what I would do on them is I would raise my stop loss on the position that you have at 154. I would put the stop loss at 8% below the pivot, which is 359. So I don't know exactly what the math is on that, but I would put that's what I do on that one. And on the other one, with your new position at 350, I would go ahead and put a stop loss on for 92% of that number. So I don't know exactly what that would give you. I should have a calculator on the screen right now to show you, but to how that's calculated. But I would put in stop losses below these. Wouldn't sell either of these positions, but I would put stop losses in at 8% below the 350, and then for the other position, I think you could move that stop loss way up, possibly to 275 on stop loss on that, and good till cancel. So that's a great question, and congratulations, you've done great in those stocks. I don't think you're going to pull back too much more for that. I lost 4K Jim from Apple, other stocks. Any suggestions? Well, here's what you need to do. If you're in a loss position on Apple and you're down more than 8% below what you paid, you need to basically move out of that stock and just go into cash, and then wait for the next uptrend to come. It will happen, but right now the most thing is, the first thing when you have these reversals like this, and I do think we're going to have a big one on Monday, is to stop the bleeding. So if you do have losses below 8%, I think it's time to do that. And it's tough. It's tough. Your tennis is really under it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that very, very much. Hopefully, everybody out there, I'm hoping I can get some more people to subscribe to the channel. This is on YouTube at Dallas Trading Floor, so I really appreciate everything you can do, and please tell your friends about it. And by the way, I have a trade alerts. I have of the Dallas Trading Floor Action Trade Alerts, which are totally free. So it's really easy to get these. All you have to do is go to the site, which is, and I'll put that up on the screen here. It's dallastradingfloor.com, and that's the free trade alerts. And I just need the first, last name, and your email address, and it's free, and I send these out on the mail server about several times a week on how I'm trading it. Right now, I'm pulling in my horns, wanting to see kind of how the market is going to is going to move. So that's really what I am looking for, a direction. And right now, I don't really have direction on the market as much as I'd like. Okay. Please like Peloton. Peloton has been doing great. By the way, this is a TikTok. Thank you very much for watching me on TikTok. We don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. It looks like they got a stay of execution until October 15th. So it was going to be September 15th. They were going to cut it off. Now we've got another month to work on it. So hopefully there's something here. So let's look at Peloton. Peloton has just been super hot. And I was listening to the president of it. A lot of people really like this. It's just been going straight up. It's at 89.92. It's up $3. I'm just a little bit leery about this. I want to see a pullback to the 50 a bounce off the 50-day. I do think this is not viable at this point, but I do think at 68.64 it may be viable, because I think we're going to see it pull back to the 50-day line, and when it does, then I think it may bounce higher. There was a tremendous bounce on earnings. They had great earnings, and so it's tremendous stock. But I just don't think at this level there's really not an adequate buy point for this. I would wait until it pulls back to the 50-day moving average, and I have that basically at 68.64 on that. So that's my kind of take on Peloton. And by the way, if you want to see kind of how I'm coming up with these numbers, I'm not just pulling them out of thin air. I'm actually looking at charts to see kind of how it's trading relative to the 50-day moving average for that. So that's how I'm coming up with it. And by the way, if you're watching on TikTok, super easy to get on the channel. Just it's youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor. So there you go. Okay, so let's see. Apple, JP. Let's look at JPMorgan. That would be more of a safety trade. I still don't like the financials right now because the interest rates are so low. But in terms of the banks, JPMorgan is probably the best of them all in terms of its strength. So, but I still don't like this chart, and let me show you why I don't like this chart. The problem with this chart is, of course, it's below the 200-day moving average. That's not a good sign. Typically, anything that's below a 200-day moving average means that the institutions are selling this, maybe not all at once, but they're selling it. It has trended up a little bit in the last few days, but it's pulled back to the 40-day moving average. That's this little red line here. So I'm not very, very bullish on this. If you're in it and you're doing okay, that's fine. But I wouldn't, panic sell it or anything. But I wouldn't be into the stock. This stock just is not gonna do well, probably in the next 6 months. So just based on the chart, and I'm just totally looking at the chart. Apple. What happened to RKT? Let me look at RKT first. That's Rocket Mortgage. The problem when the market starts to move down like this, it can't withstand. This is one of the major reasons you don't want to buy an IPO when it just comes out. You want to wait at least 3 months to see how it's going to trade, and that's definitely been the case with Rocket Mortgage. So a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money on this one. It's at 34 and it's now at 22, and it's probably going to go down probably to the $15 range, I suspect, but who knows? You never can tell. And I don't want to be a negative Nelly here, but if we are going to retest the lows on the spider, which is the S&P 500, then the mortgage business probably will not be the great one. So it's just not. If you're down more than 7% in this one, sell it. Wait for a better chart pattern. It's just not time. It's not time for this one yet. I'm not saying it's a bad stock. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that it's just a time to be much more cautious than last week. It's really changed direction. How about Amazon calls for 918? Good question. Let's look at Amazon. I wouldn't be buying Amazon calls right now. Even though Amazon is just a powerful company, the market direction has changed on Amazon. Amazon is, I wouldn't say it's overvalued, but it is potentially in a situation where you might see some very much weakness in the next few in the next few weeks. I don't think buying a call right now. Now possibly a put. Puts are probably good in this market. I do think we're going to see Amazon move down, but I can't recommend a call at this time because you see it's violated the 40-day moving average, and so I don't think it is unless we see a change in market direction. I don't think you want to be in those calls. I really don't think you want to be in them. Okay, so let's see. On next Monday, do you think the tech stocks will go down? Well, I think that, coming up Monday, I think we're going to see some deterioration in the tech stocks based on the market direction that I'm seeing. And that's really sort of been the thing. Do you think if we see another 20% down in Tesla next week, could we get in a short trade for a better day? Well, you might be. It might be there. I mean, I still have some Tesla. I took my chips off the table big time, basically. And I have a lot more Tesla. I'm basically down to one position in Tesla, and it's still holding above that that 359 pivot. It may, but I'm not. It's not Tesla. It's the market in general. I think there's a sell-off that's going to start on Monday, and don't want to be grim or anything, but be really careful. I think we could easily see another. I think we could easily see another 20% down in Tesla. Now there is on Tesla. I do believe we have a potential strength at 273, and the reason I do is because I'll show you the chart on that. I think that is going to be the secondary buy point. And see if I can bring this up on the daily so we can see it. Yeah, okay, there we go. So let's take a look at the Tesla chart. This is the daily chart. And with the daily chart, I'm typically looking for buy points. With the weekly chart, I'm looking for market direction. As you can see, it's fallen. This is not a really good time to be buying. It did bounce. There was a bounce. I came in on this bounce thinking it would be stronger. It wasn't. I then took my chips off the table. Basically, it's still very, very strong, but it bounced off the 40-day moving average. But I do think we could see 273, and the reason is because it has support there prior to the split. There was support at this level, so that's the reason. That's what I'm basing this on. I do think we could see potentially a pullback all the way to 273. Now, will it stay there? Probably not, because I think battery day is going to be powerful. But I just, right now, there's a lot of risk in holding. If your buy price is above about 273 on Tesla, there's a lot of risk in holding it at that level. Now, if you're below that on your buy price on a split adjusted basis, then you're fine. You're not in any danger at all. But if you are above 273 on where you bought Tesla, I think you are in danger, and I do believe that you should be very careful. Set a stop loss. I'm not saying that you should necessarily sell all your positions, but I want to be very careful, because I do think that we may see it pull back to that 273 split adjusted basis. So we could definitely see that very, very quickly. Short-term trade. Well, my short-term trade currently is on a. It's just really a hedge. It's really not a trade. It's sort of my over the weekend trade. It's on a. It's on what they call the SQQQ. And it's moved down a little bit, but it was up today. This may do well tomorrow. On Monday, we don't know. But this is a hedge. This is the only thing that I'm basically. This is the only thing I bought today. It's the SQQQ, and I do think that this is not really a money making deal. This is more of a hedging tool. But this should move in opposition to the QQQ. So if the QQQ falls on Monday, the SQQQ should do very well. So let's take a look. Yeah, and we do have the reason I'm saying this is that on the QQQ, it violated the 50-day the 40-day moving average. If on Monday it bounces and moves higher, then the SQQQ will go down in value. But if it continues on down, which I believe it might, then we're looking at potentially potentially a bit of a bit of a gain on the SQQQ. As you can see, there was a low here at 251. That's sort of one of the way stations. There's another one here at 237, and so on. But basically, it could go as low. The QQQ could go as low as 211. But as you can see, there's strength at these numbers. 206 is the first pivot, 251 is the first pivot, 237 the second, and 231. So, I'm kind of looking to see if it pulls back to this 251, which I do believe it might. And so that's the reason why I am not as bullish as I was last week. That's for sure. I'm definitely not. So that's just long and short. So my short-term trade would be on a shorting. Okay, wish we still had the TVIX. Yeah, the TVIX was cool. During this downturn, I was, when I first came on the air, I showed you what I was doing to short the search some of these things, and the TVIX was great. But the TVIX, basically, it's no longer, and unfortunately, you can't use it. But you can. But the SQQQ is still out there, and it is a way to do it. So, interestingly enough, KR. KR. Let's look at the chart for KR. This is really a safety trade. Kroger. It's actually the biggest food only retailer. I mean, Walmart is bigger and they sell food, but in terms of being a grocery store, Kroger's number one. It's a great company, very, very well run, and unfortunately, the market is saying that they're selling it, which is interesting because in the COVID-19 thing, they're one of the few retailers to do very, very well. So this does not bode well. I do think we're going to have a reversal in the market. I think we are possibly pulling down, and this says it. I wouldn't buy it at this level. The earnings per share were excellent, and look at this. Their earnings per share were excellent, and the next day, all the institutions sold. So this is another. This shows you. This chart shows you illustrates something very interesting, and that is even if a company has great earnings. Going into earnings, it's always a kind of a good idea, if you're trading it, I'm not saying holding it for long-term investing it, is to sell it before the earnings and then wait to see what happens on the other side. Typically, 80% of the time, stocks correct down on earnings. So even if they have great earnings, a lot of times they'll go down and on the earnings. But KR, I don't see it right now. Right now is really not a time to be moving. Moving into stocks, it's really the time to start looking to see if you can possibly exit and wait for a better uptrend, because I do think we're going to move into a downtrend. Now, Nvidia is one of my favorite companies, but the problem with Nvidia at these levels is that I think that we're going to see it pull back, possibly to the 50-day moving average. That's been what's happening in the stock. I will give you a buy point on it, but I don't trust this buy point, and the reason I don't trust the buy point is because I don't really believe that we are in a situation where you want to be buying Nvidia at these levels. So basically, the buy point, the last buy point was on a flat base. It was 269.20, and that was basically way back in September of last year. So that was the last buy point on it. And so we're very, very far from that. We're almost, the last true buy point was 259.20, and it basically was last year. So there was another buy point at 289, and that was in February. That was in January. But that's the last time that there really was a strong buy point. So it's pretty far. It's very, very extended. It's a great company, but I wouldn't be buying it right now. Let's wait until the market kind of changes direction in terms of character. Right now, I'm seeing that the market is weakening. It's a good time to take profits if you've got them. And protect any potential gains that you have. Do you have a Peloton? No, but I need one bad. I need a diet too. I need to go on a diet. I love to eat, and I don't like to exercise. Typical. No, I don't have a Peloton. Pelotons are cool, I guess, but I'm still really old school. I kind of like going to the gym and pretending to work out. So that's my thing. No, I don't have a Peloton. I don't have a Peloton. Subscribe to a few times. Oh shit! I apologize, Peter. I so apologize. Can you possibly go to the website again? I'm sort of trying to get all these bugs out. I apologize. I'm going to start looking at this over the weekend. But if you could go back to the website, and then instead of putting your name and address in, just go to ask a question. And then I get those emails directly, and I'll make sure that you're on the list for that. So thank you so much, Peter, for that. And I apologize for it not working. There seems to be okay. You never get any of your emails. Okay. Well, let me put up that and see if I can do that. I'm going to send them all. The problem with this email system that I have, that it grades everybody, and only if you've opened it within a certain period of time, it just kicks you off the list. So I've got to figure out how to adjust that so that it'll just blast out to everybody, no matter if they open the past emails or not. But basically, you have to open all the emails in order for it to work. So That's an unfortunate thing. But I'm trying to figure that out, figure that out. So I apologize for that. Do you mentor? Well, I do somewhat, and on an ongoing basis. I'm probably going to be trying to form some kind of a Patreon group. I haven't done that yet. I've just really been trading my own account and just putting it out there for free. But I do have a lot of people that are interested in that. So maybe we can possibly do that in the future. So I do appreciate that. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in coaching or anything like that, just go to my website, www.dallastradingfloor, put it in the comment section. I'm collecting a list. It's not available yet, but hopefully it will be soon. And we might be able to do this with Zoom or something like that, which will make it convenient for everyone. So there you go. Last trade alert I received was, oh man, I am sending them out. And I will try to send them to every list, every email that I have. But the thing about the trade alerts are, you have to, the way the email server are is, if you don't open them, it basically kind of thinks you're not interested. So I've got to figure out how to change that on the system, and it doesn't send them to you anymore. So I've got to make sure that I have all the email addresses that people don't don't open. So I apologize for that. Thanks for the advice. Hey, in Madrid. Hey, fantastic. That's a place I'd like to be right now, is Madrid. I've never been to Madrid. Been to Malaga, but never to Madrid. Beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful country. And thanks for watching me. And I guess I'm not in Spanish, of course, but I may be able to do transcripts in Spanish. So I'm looking into that. What about Apple? Well, again, I do think there's going to be. I do think that it's getting a little weak. It's not a good time to enter any positions in Apple. That's really been a change since the last few days, because I did buy positions in Apple at the beginning of the week. I do think it's weakened significantly. It's not Apple, it's the market that's doing this. So if you have positions in Apple, set those stop losses. Don't enter any new positions in Apple right now. It's not because of Apple. Apple itself is a great company. I don't think it's overvalued or anything like that. But the market condition is changing. A lot of people are going to have to sell Apple. A lot of the big institutions are going to sell Apple to paper over their losses and other things. So there's some downward pressure on it. Bro, did it say? I apologize. Here's my website, just for everybody on TikTok. I'm sorry I didn't show it to you on there. The website is www.dallastradingfloor.com. So www.dallastradingfloor, all one word, .com. I'm also available on YouTube, and you can see all the past videos there at youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor, all one word. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for asking. I do really appreciate it. And by the way, if you are if you do go to there on YouTube, this is the address, and I'm showing it on YouTube. But if you can, just share it and subscribe. The main reason is because TikTok may be going away, and but I do have everything on YouTube, so you can definitely get everything on YouTube, and that's a good thing to do. So smash that like button. And anyways, that's my little thing. That's my new little gizmo for today. So I thought you'd like that. Anyways, but I appreciate that very much. I bought Tesla at 477. What should I do? Here's the thing. I think you probably. Here's what I do if you're at 477. You're not fully down 8% at 477. What I would consider doing with that is I would selling half my position and then setting a stop loss. That's what I would do on Tesla. I do think Tesla's going to come back. I'm not a Tesla bear. I am a Tesla bull. But I think right now it's a challenged position, just because even though Battery Day is coming up, I think the market is changing its direction. And when that happens, it kind of gets tough, because it's hard to do. Tesla is going to 283. A week before Saturday. Okay. Well, I know this is it's a hard thing to believe. Okay. I'm not bagging on Tesla. I think it's a great company, but here's the thing. Remember, Tesla split 5 for 1. Okay, and when I sold out my largest tranche of Tesla, it was about in 1994. It went higher than that, but if you take 2,000 and you divide it by 5, you get 200. You get you get a number that's a little bit lower. So I do believe that Tesla is going to pull back, and I think it's going to be about 273. That should be the range. But then I think it will reverse from there. I know that's a wild call, and you might not like to hear that, but I do think it's gonna pull back down a little bit more. Now I could be totally wrong because Tesla has so many retail investors in it; it's very difficult to tell. But I know that there's been a lot of selling by institutions. They've been selling mainly to cover their losses and other things. But it still creates the thing. Trading school would be great. Absolutely, Arnold, it would, and I'm looking into doing that. So, all right. So, if you have Gmail, are there any? Oh, okay. They're under any promotions or it may spam. Oh, okay, yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem with Gmail. It does have a spam protector because everybody spams the addresses, and sometimes my server doesn't get through, and it's a problem. So I apologize, but I'm going to try to get that bad. Are you on eToro? No, I'm not on eToro, but that's a good one. Let me look at that eToro. GORO. Yeah, I'm trying to move it away from TikTok. Not because I don't like TikTok. I love TikTok, but it may not go. It may go away. And if it does, then that's that. But I'll look into possibly doing a feed to eToro. So thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Okay, so what is Snow added? What is Snow added? Should go. Okay, let me look at Snow. Interesting. That is interesting. SNOW. Okay. Did I get anything on there? Huh. I thought I would. No. Not seeing anything on there, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Right. Yeah, it's 2,000 divided by 5 is 400. You're absolutely right. But the thing is, I do on a and I didn't really preface that right. The last true buy point on Tesla was about on an unsplit adjusted basis was about 997. And I think I have a show on that. If you can look back on my YouTube channel, so that split would be about 200. So, but there is some support for Tesla at about 273. On a split adjusted basis. So, again, it's not this is not scientific, but that is kind of what I have on that. So I do think that we're going to see possibly some more weakness before it continues up. Now, long term, Tesla, I believe, potentially is going to go over $500 a share by, and probably by the end of next year or maybe even the end of this year. But right now, no. Right now, it's a little bit weak, but I do think that with the new models that are going to be shipped from China, I do think we're going to see some very, very strong numbers upcoming. But right now, the market is pulling back, and because of that, not so much in Tesla, but because of that, I think we're going to see it move a little bit down, unfortunately. I want to hold on. Well, it's definitely. I'm down 2K on Apple. Should I hold? I would cut my losses right now, and I would wait for a better time to come back into Apple. Selling to cash and then waiting for an uptick to buy is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, of course, sometimes it's hard to judge when those upticks are going to come, but I do think that we are pulling back a little bit. Right now, the uptrend is under pressure. We're still in an uptrend, but it could change to a correction. If it changes to a correction, then the market will go down between 10 and 15%. And I do believe that the market could go as low, potentially, as 211 on the spider. And the reason I do that is because that was the number that it bounced off of when in March at the beginning of this COVID-19 thing. So that is a very, very important number. that is going to be on that's going to be on here. So, but I do think the market is correcting, and I think it's time to basically be extremely careful with the characterization of the market, because I do think we are seeing a shift to the downside, at least for right now. I mean, it may change, but for at least for right now, that's where we are. Can we copy? Can we copy as a trader and copy all your trades on my? Well, can you get a commission? Yeah, that would be great. Actually, what I do, just for everybody out there, I kind of do this for free. So you don't have to pay anything, and you don't have to. You don't have to. you you don't have to pay for it. But I appreciate wanting. That's a nice thing to say. But let me just show you what I have. I have this thing called the small portfolio, and I'm just going to push this up on the screen right now. And what this is this basically how I'm trading now. Now, it's with a relatively small amount of money. I started with about with about $5,000 about 2 months ago. I did sell some. I did sell some stock today, as you can see. I sold Tesla, I sold Microsoft, and I sold Penn National Gaming, and I didn't hold them very long. And I just, I will not take any more than an 8% loss. I took an 8% loss on Penn National, and then what I did is I went all into cash. And then but I did buy 2 positions in the SQQQ. I'm down actually on this as well today, so it does show you how unstable this market is right now. But the SQQQ moves against the Q. It's a hedging vehicle. I don't think I'll be in it very long, probably until we find out whether or not the market is going to go correct or it's going to move up. So I'm going to be in those probably a few days, probably next week. But this is exactly how I trade, and you can and it's really easy. All you have to do is go to DallasTradingFloor.com, and then in the lower right hand corner, there's a little sign up you can put in. You just need first, last name, and a email address, and then I will send you the link. And as you can see, there's people here looking right now. These are also people that have dialed into this, and this is how I trade it, sort of real time. It's not totally real time because I do have to update it. I go from my trading record to the small portfolio, so that's sort of how I'm trading it, and it's totally free. So, why pay more, right? Why pay more? At least for right now, that's how it is. Any thoughts on Zoom or ZM for now? Well, let's look at Zoom. Let's see how it's trading. It's probably off a tremendous amount. I haven't been looking at I haven't been looking at Zoom that much today because I'm not in it. But it's okay. Well, let's look at the 10-minute chart. Let's see how it traded at the end of the day. Well, it traded down a little bit, but it traded up. So it's sort of finding its. It seems like it's finding its level here at about 380. Let's look at the daily on Zoom to see kind of how it traded. Yeah, it's pulled back. It's just, this is not the kind of chart you want to buy. It's really, basically the optimal, and this is usually true with the high-flying stocks, it's good to hold them right into the earnings and then sell. And as you can see, that's exactly the right way to trade that. Would have been to hold it into earnings and then sell it. It looks like it's pulling back, and it definitely can pull easily back to about 323, I think. That's where the 21-day moving average is. So with Zoom, I think that it's potentially it potentially could move a lot lower. There's what they call a blow-off top with Zoom, and when you have these, there's a little bit of strength of people coming back into it, but this one, it could easily collapse down to the 21-day or even the 40-day moving average. So I would be very, very careful in this. If I was in this, I would put stop losses on. But if it were me and we're coming into a weekend, I would sell this one. I guess we're after close right now, but I would consider selling this one just because it is kind of dangerous. This one can collapse. Not that it's a bad company again, but it's just the market has gotten over exuberant. So that's kind of my take on it. On that. So any thoughts on IVZ? Interesting. IVZ. I don't know IVZ. IVZ. Invesco. Interesting. So this is Invesco. This is the original Invesco one. I don't know. I like the QQQ, but I'm not I don't know about this one. The IVZ. this is their original one, and it's this is the company itself, not the stock. It's hugging the the 40-day. So I really can't say that this isn't a particularly. I wouldn't really invest in this one, IVC. This is the company that produces the other products. Now, there is an Invesco product that I like, and of course, that is the SQQQ, based on in this market, but only when the market is correcting when I buy the SQQQ, and this is the one. That's the one I was talking about with my hedging strategy. So we're almost to an hour, and again, I appreciate everyone coming by. For everybody on TikTok, the easy way to get onto my trading list is super easy. Just go to www.tradingfloor, and you can do it there. If you're on TikTok, you can also go to my profile, hit the link on the profile, and it takes you directly to the sign up page. That's all if you're on TikTok. If you're watching me on YouTube, just go to www.tradingfloor. And that's also a good way to do it as well, and then sign up for the action trailers. But if you're on TikTok, it's easy. Just go to the profile, hit the link, and I will be right there. TSE. Let's see if we have TSE. If I can give you something on that, TSE. Manufactures synthetic rubber. Interesting. I don't know this company. Okay, well, it's interesting. Okay, this is a stock that I don't know very well, TSE, but it appears like it is moving up above the 200-day moving average. It's not really buyable at this point, but it's not bad for a materials supplier. If we had inflation, this would be a very good one. But we don't. We have deflation. I'm really so on it. I wouldn't buy this one, but I would watch list it potentially. I think I'd watch list this one. So what do you think? Well, I'm not really very interested, but I just thought about which moods the people would be in the following months of the year. Really, I like to travel. Oh, tourism sector. Well, I love the tourism sector, but unfortunately, with this COVID thing, I mean, it's so hard to do anything with it with the travel industry right now, because there's so many countries you can't go to. I mean, a lot of my favorite places you got to be quarantined. So I don't think it's a really good buy right now. Just not because it's bad, but because people can't travel right now. So I wouldn't be in any of the hotels, cruise lines, or I think they're going to have very, very bad quarters. Not that they're going to go away, but some of them are going to go out of business. So I should be very careful in that area. Well, it's come to the end of my time today. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And if you're on TikTok and you want to get on the action trailers, super easy to do. Just go to my profile, click that, touch that link, and you'll be taken directly to the sign up page. And if you're on YouTube or Twitch or Periscope, www.tradingfloor, and just sign up for the action trade alerts. I will be back on Monday. Be very careful. I think we're going to see a market change in direction. So be careful. So be careful about the market as it stands. And I do believe that a lot of people do want to get out and travel. I just don't know if they can. That's the main thing. There's demand, but I don't know if you can really use it, unfortunately, and that's the big problem. So I'd be very careful with travel related stocks. Well, I will see you on Monday, 2:30 Central. Thanks again for tuning in. Tell your friends. Please subscribe. Please like it on YouTube.